What up, everybody? This is your boy Dedrian Colon from House of Rasslin, and this is my review for the December 30th episode of WWE Smackdown. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification so that you're notified when House of Rasslin drops its latest content. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Man, oh man, tonight's Smackdown, man. This was a fun show. I enjoyed it. It went by very quickly. There was a few things that were just kind of clunky, but other than that, man, this was a great way to end the year for WWE, and it was also a great SmackDown to transition into 2023. And they already were hyping up Royal Rumble already, which seems like forever when they would hype up the Royal Rumble in December, especially on the last show for WWE the year prior going into Royal Rumble. But man, this was a great show. There was a few, let's call it somewhat teases to what's transpiring with the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. We saw a big return and a big title change happen on SmackDown, but enough of that already. Enough of that. Let me give you guys the results like I always do. The opening match you had, or the first match, I should say, you had Solo Sikoa defeat Sheamus. The second match, you had Rhea Ripley defeat Raquel Rodriguez. And then, I'll go into this a little bit later, but right after that match, Rhea Ripley just started speaking, and I'm the best. And before she could finish her sentence, Charlotte Flair's music hits, and Charlotte challenges Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley accepts. Armbar. Pin. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte Flair is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Yep. Charlotte Flair is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. That transpired. And then in the main event, you had Kevin Owens and John Cena defeat Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn. And I am going to get into that a little bit later because there's a whole lot of stuff to unpack with that. And man, it's going to be good as we get closer to WrestleMania. So let's get started with this breakdown, man. This is going to be a really fun breakdown because I enjoyed this show like I always do. Before I continue, give this video a thumbs up on YouTube. Share it. Do what you guys normally do. Thank you guys to all my subscribers. I thank you so much for subscribing. This year has been a tremendous year doing House of Rasslin and seeing the feedback that you guys are giving and just the views and the like. Man, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. I'm just sharing my fandom and sharing it with you guys. And I greatly appreciate the love and just what you guys have given back to me, is just as far as just views and subscribing and sharing and all that, man. Thank you so much. So the opening segment was a Bray Wyatt promo, which was like, oh Lord. So Bray Wyatt comes out. He apologizes for the cameraman last week. LA Knight comes out. They start going back and forth. Basically, LA Knight challenges Bray Wyatt to a match at Royal Rumble, which has been heavily speculated. I want to say for the last week or so. There's been rumblings as far as a pitch black match, which don't know what the hell a pitch black match is. First thing that comes to mind is I think it's called the Asylum match or something like that in Impact Wrestling, where they're locked away in the dark and then they bring them out. Like, that's the closest thing that I can think of. It's going to be a weird match. I hope it's not a cinematic match because with the crowds returning back in 2021, like, do we really need another cinematic match? And I don't know. We'll see. So LA Knight issues the challenge, and Bray Wyatt accepts. And then lights go out and music starts hitting, and out comes Uncle Howdy. and he walks to the ring. He takes off his hat, and he stands side by Bray. Then he gives Bray Wyatt the Sister Abigail. I don't know where this whole Uncle Howdy Bray Wyatt thing is going and where it's leading to. I know when he first came back, there was a lot of excitement as far as, man, who's going to join Bray Wyatt's faction? And then, of course, the Alexa Bliss teases on Raw. I don't know where this is going, and I don't say that to be like condescending and just dismissive of the whole story, but I really don't know where this is going. Like, it just feels like this whole story with Bray Wyatt is in a place that only he knows. And it's not a diss at him, it's just that's how it's been presented, that it's in a place that nobody knows what's going on or what's there. I know one of the biggest criticisms with this storyline has been that the whole Bray Wyatt stuff is dragging. I kind of feel that way, but what doesn't help this story is it's pretty much the second biggest storyline in WWE behind the Bloodline. And after this storyline, most of the storylines in WWE are very vague and just bland. So, like, outside of the Bloodline and Sammy storyline, this sticks out. Like, everything regarding this storyline sticks out. Now, if there were other storylines that just had, the same level of depth and intrigue and just, curiosity, it wouldn't be as glaring as it is. But yeah, this is very weird. I did not expect Uncle Howdy to turn on Bray, or attack Bray, I should say. I don't know where this is going. And a part of me, and maybe it's just me, comment below what you guys think of the whole Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy storyline. I'll try to respond to it and everything. Actually, I will respond to it. But yeah, for me, it's getting to the point where I don't want to say I'm losing interest in it, but I really don't care where it goes as long as it goes somewhere already. Like, I love Bray Wyatt. I love his creativity and the way they present it, but this is like, can you hurry up and get there already? Like, can you hurry up and, like, get there? I don't know where this is going, and it's just like, just get there already. So we shall see. Then we get a backstage segment with Sammy going to the Bloodline store. He meets Paul Heyman, and the interesting line out of this segment, Paul Heyman tells Sammy, you should be 3 steps ahead at all times. That's what makes you so good. And the way he said it, his mannerisms, and there was another segment later on with the Bloodline. Like, if you guys followed my reviews on SmackDown, and I mentioned that when the turn happens, it's going to be logical. And I didn't know how it was going to be executed, but it was going to be logical. And tonight's episode, and I know I'm jumping the gun because there was another segment, but tonight's episode, the backstage segments, they kept on emphasizing during their whole conversation and everything, Sammy getting cheered more than the Bloodline. That's the key thing. That's the bridge to getting to the Bloodline kicking Sammy out or just beating him up and everything, that he thinks he's bigger than the Bloodline. He's using the Bloodline to get bigger. That's the logical point, which makes sense. And after tonight, you can see where it's going. And I'm all aboard for it. But yeah, that line, 3 steps ahead, I'm just like, man, I've been watching Paul Heyman since 1989 when he was Paulie Dangerously in WCW. And I'm like, he doesn't say things just to say things. Like, nah, this, like his famous line, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. So I think that's a spoiler to like Sammy. They're gonna drop you, and they're gonna drop you hard, buddy. So then we get the Sheamus versus Solo Sikoa match. This was a pretty solid match. I really enjoy watching Solo Sikoa's matches. Man, he's you can tell he man, how do I you know what? He is a more he reminds you of Umanga, but not as because when the way they had Umanga, like like they almost made him like a freaking character. I don't want not a character, but just like over the top somewhat. Like sometimes it just came across like too much. But with Solo, it's just man, it's perfect, and it's like a cross between Roman's silence and then Umanga's aggression. And man, I'm so glad that they gave him the Samoa Spike. So of course in this match you had Sheamus do the 16 elbow strikes. Then later on, the way this match ended, you had the Usos and the Brawling Brutes. They were brawling outside. Then Solo, what did he do? He worked his shoulder? Yeah, he did work his shoulder. And then he executed the Samoan Spike. Man, ever since I believe it was 2 Raws that paid tribute, or I think it was a couple weeks ago when they paid tribute to Umanga, that he did the Samoan Spike. Ever since then, he's been doing the Samoan Spike, and I hope they keep it because man, that move fits him. Because man, it's just his demeanor, the way he executes it. His matches are really good, man. I enjoyed it. And this match with Sheamus, man, him and Sheamus have a lot of chemistry, and most of the guys that Solo has faced, like even Drew McIntyre, like there's a chemistry. Like he's a solid wrestler, man. And man, that's a good one. WWE has a keeper with that dude, man. That's a solid one. So after the match, you got the Usos. They're beating down Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes. Music hits. Drew McIntyre comes out. So he comes out. He clotheslines Solo, and then he claymores Jimmy. So you have this stare down between the Usos and Solo with the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre. So I believe that might be something headed towards Royal Rumble, or might be something added to Elimination Chamber in February after Royal Rumble. So we shall see. But it was good to see Drew McIntyre back. I think he was sick for a while, a couple weeks ago or something like that. But it was good to see him. Like, it's always fun. And also, I do want to add this, and I want you guys to comment below. Have you guys noticed that Sheamus and Drew McIntyre have similar entrance themes? Play it back to back. They sound the same. Maybe it's just me. Comment below what it is, but I've noticed that. I've noticed it for a while. I'm just like, man, they kind of got similar themes. So let me know what you guys think in the comment below. So after this, we get Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley. Oh man, there's a lot to take out of this match. But I kept it simple because there was just a lot of things. First off, I really like when Ronda Rousey leans into the submission holds. That I like. And I wish WWE would have and would continue to go into that, where she is a submission machine. Where, granted, there's wrestling moves and stuff like that, but like, just keep, like, she doesn't want, like, I wish they would present her as, I don't want to, or I don't want to say I don't want to, but I wish they would present her as, I just want to freaking make you tap out. Anyway, whether it's a chokehold, whether it's your arm, whether it's your ankle, whether it's your knee, whether it's stretching you, I just want to make people tap, and I just have an appetite for that. And I wish they would lean more into that, as opposed to what we've been getting is like, I like the pairing of her and Shayna Baszler, but it's just over the top. And this match was, I enjoyed this match. There were certain parts I was like, but most of I enjoyed it. Man, Raquel Rodriguez in this match, she displayed her strength, man. really displayed her strength. Of course, Ronda Rousey was working her left arm multiple times, and I noticed later on another wrestler got hit with a left arm, and I'm like, the hell is WWE's like fascination with hurting people's left arm? It's like, what the hell is that? Um, so I mean, you had that. You had a nice lariat clothesline from Raquel Rodriguez on Rhea Ripley. Go back and watch this match. I believe it's somewhat happened. Watch the whole match, but up until that point, you'll see it. Man, that was that was a beautiful clothesline. I'm like, ooh, man, that was so good. Then you had a sequence where Raquel Rodriguez turned an armbar into a Boston Crab, and then Ronda Rousey turned that into an ankle lock. Then you had, was it a nice vertical suplex by Raquel Rodriguez? Then you had Raquel Rodriguez with a nice fallaway slam. Then you had Ronda with an Anaconda Sleeper. And then you had Raquel Rodriguez. She had Ronda Rousey on the top turnbuckle. This was man, I love the camera spot, but the way this match ended was kind of like underwhelming, to say the least. So it looked like Ronda Rousey's on the top turnbuckle, and you had Raquel Rodriguez. And it looked like she was trying to do a suplex or something like that, and Ronda Rousey like turned it into a freaking armbar on the top turnbuckle. That was sweet, man. Again, I wish they would start emphasizing that Ronda Rousey just wants to make people tap. I don't care what body part it is. It's your head, your shoulder, your ankle, your elbow, your stomach, your hip, your knee, your cat. Like, she will use any body part just to make you tap. That's what she likes. And I wish they would emphasize that. It's instead of trying to make her a pro wrestler, just let her be herself. So she has her in the submission hold, and then Raquel Rodriguez does a fallaway slam from the top turnbuckle, and she lands. Mind you, she does that as Ronda Rousey has her in the armbar submission hold, and as she drops, Ronda Rousey still has it in her left arm in her armbar, and then as soon as they land, not even a couple seconds later, the ref just rings the bell, and I'm like, what? How does she tap? Like, what? Like, it was just really underwhelming for a pretty solid match. Like, the beginning part was like, but once the match got, like, this was a pretty solid match. So yeah, Raquel Rodriguez tapped out, and then afterwards, you got Ronda Rousey. Like I said, she was talking, and just the crowd was just booing her. And then music hits. Charlotte Flair comes out. She's got nice, man. Her new entrance theme, man. That's nice. That's nice. It starts off similar to her dad's, like pretty identical. It's not an imitation. It's identical, and then it goes into, I believe some people said it is a Rob Zombie theme, which is all right. That's different. Like, you wouldn't expect that pairing, but if it sounds good, it is what it is. I'll enjoy it, and it does sound really good. Check it out. I don't think it's gonna be on YouTube yet. Maybe give it a couple weeks, but go back and watch SmackDown. Maybe you'll probably see the clip on YouTube or social media, stuff like that, and you listen to it. It's like, ooh, man, this is a nice track. So you have this face-off, and Ronda Rousey's kind of like this. Like, again, I wish they would lean into her being a submission machine, where she just is obsessed with making people tap, no matter what body part it is. No pun intended. So yeah, she's mocking Charlotte. Well, what do you want? You want a challenge? What, you want a title? You want this? You want that? And Charlotte's like, yeah, I want to challenge you right here, right now. And at first I'm like, she's gonna like kind of play it off like, yeah, I'm gonna accept and then walk out. And she did it, and I'm like, uh-oh. Are we getting Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 9 against Yokozuna, where it's like, Ronda's going to lose this title tonight. She's going to lose this title. And as soon as Ronda accepts. They ring the bell. There's a sequence where Charlotte spears Ronda Rousey. Ronda turns that into an armbar, and then Charlotte turns that into a pin. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Very, I don't want to say it's interesting, but very unexpected. Like, it was like, whoa, did not expect that. I think many people, including myself, were anticipating Charlotte to come back maybe the first Raw or SmackDown of 2023, or maybe the Raw anniversary, the 30th anniversary of Raw. I don't think many people had that, like, oh, wait a minute, Charlotte's going to be here on SmackDown. So I don't think many people saw that, but it was really cool. It really took the show to another level. It added the anticipation of the main event of KO and Cena versus Roman and Sami Zayn. So it just helped elevate the show to where you just felt the energy in the crowd of, man, okay, we're hyped. Like, man, this is so fun. Wish WWE would have these type of crowds on Raw and SmackDown every week, because, man, this was good, and it really shocked people. It shocked me. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be fun to see where this goes and who's the next challenger for Charlotte and how they line this up and see where this goes. I anticipate Shayna Baszler is going to be one of Charlotte's opponents, so that should be pretty cool, and see where this goes. So I'm really interested to see where this goes, and I'm really excited and happy that Charlotte is back, because, man, she was missed, man. Whoo, boy, man, she was missed, but it's good to see her back and healthy. She looks good. She looks great, and there's going to be a fun ride, and there's going to be a fun road to WrestleMania. First stop is Royal Rumble, but there's going to be a fun road to WrestleMania with Charlotte as the SmackDown Women's Champion, to see where that goes. So we shall see. Afterwards, we get a backstage segment with the Bloodline, and you have Paul Heyman in the back. You have Jimmy and Jey Uso. You have Solo Sikoa in the back, and you have like this couch area, and you got Roman on the left side, and you got Sammy on the right, and Sammy brings up the question, is it an issue because the crowd is chanting my name, Sammy? And that's what I was saying earlier in the review. You look at Paul Heyman's facial expression, Jey Uso, everyone's just like, And right then, those facial expressions gave it away. It's like, that's where we saw the seeds planted when Sammy gave his promo, and he uttered the words, I'm your friend. I was your friend. He made that mix up. It's like, oh, okay. So it's leading down the path of, especially after this, that Sammy's just with us to get over, to get popular, to get on the main events. He's not Bloodline. He's just using it for the ride and everything. He's just not. And that's when the turning point's going to be. And when that happens, man, that's going to be massive. So you had that, and just Roman just like chuckles, but it's like, nah, this ain't flying. Like, they're going to beat his ass. They're going to beat Sami Zayn's ass, man. And Roman's just like, huh? Ah, man, it's good, man. It's good. And it's just like, no, it ain't good. But that facial expression, nope. It is not good. So then we get Gunther and Kaiser and Vinci out. And before they finish the segment and everything, where Michael Cole and Wade Barrett announced the pitch black match between Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. See what happens with that. It is what it is. So we get this. They start showing this video package of, I believe it was a video package, but they just start talking, and Strowman comes out, and he mentions, you haven't beaten me, and you've beaten all these people. What about a monster? Kaiser and Vinci, they attack Strowman. Then Gunther tries to tries to chop Strowman. Strowman stops him, and then that leads to them going outside. Then you had Strowman doing his train run, hits Kaiser, hits Vinci, and then, man, this is really smart. Gunther lays there like kind of playing possum, and then as Strowman runs, he throws Strowman into the barricade, grabs a chair, he hits him. Then they throw him into the steel steps, bring him in the ring. Gunther's just working his arm like, man, he is just stretching it. Ricochet comes out to make the save. We're probably going to get a tag team match between Gunther, Ricochet against Kaiser, Vinci, and Gunther. I don't know who the third person would be. We shall see, but it's Ivis is going there. This segment, I'm a big Gunther fan, but I one thing I don't care for is him somewhat being intimidated by Strowman because of the way they had him booked in NXT UK, and NXT is just like, it's very weird to see him back down. Like, dude, you got a freaking chop that freaking annihilates people. What are you scared for? That's the only thing that if I had the nitpick, I just don't care too much for. But I'm looking forward to that. And then they announced that, actually, I jumped the gun. So before the Gunther thing, I'm going to go back a little bit. Sorry, guys. You had a backstage segment with Hit Row, New Day, Top Dollar, and Ashanti Adonis. And you had Maximum Male Models. And they're basically cracking jokes at Top Dollar not be able to jump. And, did you jump at all? And Ricochet, he starts getting a line in. Mind you, it goes from Xavier Woods to Kofi to Marseille. Then, oh my God, I forgot his name. His partner. Then it goes to Ricochet. And then once Ricochet says his line, Top Dollar just shoves the hell out of him and everything. And of course, people are like, oh, he's going to turn heel. I believe that might be possible, and we might get a more aggressive Hit Row, which is cool, but I don't know. It is what it is. I mean, to one extent, I could see them, hey, whatever, the issue with Top Dollar not being able to jump with his leg going out and everything. It's like, we'll make jokes and make light of it and just incorporate it in the storyline. But I wish it was another way that they got there. But looking at it, it's like, you know what? This is really cool. This is something that might be something needed for Hit Row to go to that next level, because it does feel like ever since they returned, they're just here. They haven't regressed. They're just here. It's like, okay, you're here, and we've seen what you guys done in the past. It's like, your potential is here. So maybe this is that catapult that'll get them to that next level. I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoy Top Dollar as a personality and as a wrestler. That guy has natural charisma, and I look forward to see what he does after this. So we shall see. And as I was mentioning before I went back to the segment, after the Gunther Strowman Ricochet segment, they announced that Ricochet and Top Dollar next week will have a Royal Rumble qualifying match. So we're getting those. So now we're getting people that will qualify for the Royal Rumble. I'm looking forward to that. I always enjoy the Royal Rumble because you don't know who's going to be in there, and we might get a certain adrenaline in my soul. American Nightmare. We might get Cody Rhodes, which when I say might, like 90% probably get Cody Rhodes. Then in the main event, Cena, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn. This crowd was into this match. The only thing I do have to nitpick about this match, it did feel at certain points that they rushed the beginning to get to the end. It did feel that way. Doesn't necessarily mean they did that, but it did come across like it was like kind of rushed. Like they just start, boom, get here, then boom. Like normally you start and then boom, 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 you get here, then boom, boom, boom. But maybe because of time, they just start, boom, all right, boom, and right there. But I enjoyed this match, man. This was fun. Sammy and KO, they started off. Then Sammy got his nose busted, and you see Kevin Owens just telling Sami Zayn, it's like, go ahead, go like a little lapdog and go ahead, your little acting like a little slave and stuff like that. And Sammy's just. So you had that. Then there's a loud Cena chant, Sammy chants. Then you had Roman attack Cena before the tag. And that was a pretty interesting spot because Cena was down for a while and they just got the advantage. But then it was like they didn't have the advantage that long and KO got the advantage. Then you had Roman. He missed a Superman punch. Then KO super kicked him. Then executed a frog splash, which Roman Reigns kicked out. Then a little bit later, you had Roman miss a spear after Superman punch. Then the hot tag for Cena. Cena and Kevin Owens did a double 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena did the attitude adjustment on Roman. KO stunned Sammy. 1, 2, 3. They win. This is going to be interesting next week because Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn lost. And we know Roman Reigns' character does not like to lose. And there's going to be a lot of heat on Sami Zayn because this is how I see the story playing out. Next week, we're probably going to get Roman Reigns really pissed at Sami Zayn. Going to go through hoops. And, Sammy, as naive as he is, and just, everything's cool, and, it is what it is, and will probably be too naive and not be as attentive to detail as the bloodline. And like I said, that's what's, like, we're headed down that path that they're going to kick Sami Zayn out the bloodline. Like, there's no question to that. So, I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to next week's SmackDown because I know it's leading to that. And kudos to WWE and kudos to Triple H. SmackDown is must-see TV. And I know many are like, no, not that. It's like, with this storyline or the bloodline, SmackDown is must-see TV because, man, I want to see what's next with the bloodline and with Roman and Sami Zayn losing because whoo, man, this is going to be good storytelling. I'm looking forward to it. So that is my review for the December 30th episode of WWE Smackdown, the last Smackdown of 2022. Man, what a year in pro wrestling and what a year in the WWE. So looking forward to 2023 with the WWE and the Bloodline, Sami Zayn, Bray Wyatt. Really looking forward to it. But man, the Bloodline Sami Zayn storyline, man, it is going to another level next week. First SmackDown of 2023. It's going to get good. I'm telling you, folks. You're going to want to watch this. So thank you guys so much. Man, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notifications so there you're notified when the House of Wrestling drops its latest content. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Like I said, thank you guys so much for the subscriptions. To all my subscribers, thank you guys. Those that just subscribe, thank you so much. I am very appreciative. I appreciate the comments, the likes, the shares. I greatly appreciate it. All I'm doing is sharing my fandom with you. And like our tagline is, let's just have some fun with pro wrestling. It is what it is. So thank you guys so much.